It started as a calm night on the last Monday in November in the garage at Denver's jail. Inside the black SUV sits a handcuffed 33-year-old police say they arrested in a stolen car.
Good morning, everybody. I'm RJSMITH, and this is Crazy News Reacts. Welcome aboard. It's midnight here on the East Coast of the United States. Without further ado, let's just jump right into this one. Please hit that like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the other side.
Then the night turns from calm to chaos. The handcuffed suspect pulls a gun and fires 4 shots. In the next car over, a corporal and his trainee flinch and then grab their guns and run.
I think they did a little bit more than flinch. Now, this is very interesting. What you're looking at to the right side is the entrance to a secure area where deputies, law enforcement turn in their weapons and go back to bring them into the jail. This looks like the arrestee was not searched before being placed in the back of the car. A major violation of policy and procedure here. Let's go on.
One fires at the suspect through the SUV's window, then turns on his body camera microphone.
462 Sam, we need code 10 cover down to the jail. Prisoner and I fired shots.
It is so chaotic.
Drop the gun!
One of the officers does not realize he's been shot. You can hear him in the background here.
Where am I? We need an ambulance, code 10. Prisoner in the back seats, been shot, and we have an officer down.
The body cam should have been on, which would bring the audio on, but officers panicked. I'm sure it took a couple seconds to get it on. It's a very tense situation. It's complete pandemonium because no officer expects this to happen, right? Because it's policy and procedure to search suspects and arrestees before you put them in the back of your car. Somebody dropped the ball here. And this window right here is where all the deputies would turn in their guns before even letting the inmates out of the vehicles. So many of them didn't have their weapons. And as for calling an ambulance, absolutely, because inside the Broward County Jail, the medical staff are complete garbage. They are usually contracted with a third party. So there's a bunch of stuff that they don't even have to worry about, because first, if something happens with the medical staff, BSO does the investigation, then their company does it. And it's just a jumble of nonsense. Instead of hiring doctors and nurses directly, which would really help the inmates and officers in cases like this, they choose to go the cheap way. I get it. Look, people don't give a shit about inmates, right? Don't even think about them. So it's no wonder many things that happen you don't find out about.
Video shows that officer fall to the ground after he was shot in the neck.
He's been hit somewhere in the neck or the chest. He's talking, he's breathing, he's still moving.
DPD says the bullet went straight through his neck. He's now back at work on modified duty. The department has not said how the suspect had a gun.
This would be a penetrating neck trauma. Basically, neck injury where a bullet entered the throat. It depends on where it enters on survival rate. Out of 110 people who were shot in the neck, not everybody requires surgery. Sometimes it's too dangerous to remove the bullet. 31 of the 110 had successful surgery. 79 of those people, the bullet was left inside because to move it would be too dangerous. It might be right next to the spinal cord, right? The airway, the artery. And surprisingly, the death rate from being shot in the neck is only 6%. You would think it'd be much higher. A lot of them just pass through, or they end up in muscle. And usually with the neck, the surgeons are not going to do a surgery unless it's life-threatening.
This is Officer Safety 101. You thoroughly search a prisoner.
Ed Obayashi is a police training expert. He says something pretty clearly went wrong here.
That's going to be scrutinized and investigated very thoroughly by the department.
And DPD says it will investigate whether the arresting officer properly searched the suspect.
We talk a lot about police and crime on this channel. This is the first time I reported on an officer being shot in the neck in a Sally Port, which is a secured part of a jail. And there's no question that it is a major oversight. Whoever was responsible for searching this defendant did not find it. And that could be because it was in the pelvis, down around the penis area. It could have been hidden very well under an arm. Just depends on the size of that gun and the caliber of that bullet, whether or not you survive. Look, cops are overworked, right? Sometimes they work overtime a lot. You get tired. Sometimes you miss things. Unfortunately for this officer, but luckily he survived.
Well, I feel like we kind of knew this, I guess, with an officer shot in the neck, but when you see the video and you see that wound there and everything else, I mean, it's astonishing that he didn't die. I mean, that's astonishing.
It really is. It's miraculous. He was in the hospital for a day or two, released. Now the department says he's back on a modified duty.
Why wasn't he charged with that? Embarrassment ain't gonna cut it. Policy and procedure, nobody really cares about that when someone gets hurt. Rightfully so, right? The moral of the story here is, officers, you need to search these guys really well. Even if you're tired, ask for help. This is a major slip up that could have resulted in that deputy's death. That's all for today, guys. Thanks for hanging out. I'm RJ, and I'll see you right back here tomorrow. Like and subscribe so that you will be a subscriber. Later.